Hello students. Now I am going to explain the story of village Palampur, which is the first chapter. See, Palampur is a hypothetical village or imaginary village. By citing the example of Palampur, we are going to see what are the different activities are going to perform in the village, how the people of the village used to perform their activities. Here, Palampur is well developed and connected with the neighborhood villages and town like Raiganj and Sahpur. So, this is a well developed village which is connected with the town Raiganj and Sahpur. Now, here we see that two types of activities took place, farm activities and non-farm activities. Now see, the farm activities which are related to the agriculture and non-farm activities that we will see shopkeeping, etc. Now, in both activities, there is a production. So, what are the factors of production or the organization of production? We can summarize this three: land, labor, and capital. These are the three important factors of production: land, labor, capital. Now, capital could also be explained and later could be further divided into fixed capital, working capital, and human capital. Now we will explore more. The first factor of the production is land. It is the first requirement. See, all the natural resources like water, forest, minerals, air include land, which is the most important factor of the production. The second most important factor for the production is labor. See, the labor is the human efforts, so it's a physical capacity which is very vital. Now, when we talk about the capital, we are having a physical capital, that is a fixed capital, and fixed capital is the capital which is invested once and can the output could be taken continuously for the long period of time, like generator, turbine, etc. is the example of fixed capital. Now, the working capital are those that the money in hand what we use to buy and uh, buy for the raw material, products, etc. So, it's a working capital. Now, the physical capital is a human capital because human is the most important resource which convert all the resources into useful. Here, the uh, businessman, entrepreneur, the efforts of the labor, efforts of the farmers are all the resource of human is referred here as a human capital. Now, when we take about the first factor of the production, that is the land, natural resource, we see it's a fix. Now, the population is increasing, but the land is fixed. So, how we are able to meet the needs of the growing population naturally by using the scientific and the new techniques so that the land should provide more production to feed the growing population. How it could be possible? You must have heard about the Green Revolution. And in the Green Revolution, that is a method to produce, to grow more and more crops to feed the growing population, in which we use the modern inputs like HYV seeds, fertilizer, modern farm machinery, pesticides, and so many other irrigation facilities which is provided by the government and the individual itself. Now, we see that we are taking more and more from the lands. Now, some worries are there. Will land sustain? Wind fertility of the land will sustain naturally by taking more and more products or output from the land. It sometimes sustainability are being questioned. So the green revolution's negative aspect is that soil of fertility, right? So sustainability point of view, that we have to also use the land resources judicially so that it could not suffer the harmful effects of the green revolution. Now, when we talk about the hypothetical village Palampur, how we will get the picture how the land are being distributed in most of the villages. So it is a rough average. Suppose 450 families are there in one village. See, 150 are Dalits, mostly landless, who used to cultivate the farms of the rich farmers. See, there are 240 families who are having less than 2 hectares, means land which could only provide a basic necessity to survive. Now, 60 families are there who are a medium and large scale farmer who are having more than 2 hectares of the land. So we see that very few people, when we see the percentage, you will see not more than 15% families are having the land of the particular village, but the rest of the peoples are either dependents on the big or medium farmers, or they are doing their services to support the rich farmers. Now, who provide labor? Mostly we have seen that small farmers provide the labors to the medium and large farmers. When we talk about the non-farm activities, we see that dairy, the production of milk and related occupation is a non-farming activities. We can also see that a small scale manufacturing, we can see shopkeepers, shopkeeping. These are the activities, non-farm activities took place in most of the villages. Now the transport where the grains are being fetched to the near or neighboring towns to sell into the nearby markets, then rickshaw, tanga, jeep, tractors, and others means of communication and transportations are being also used to provide the services to the needy people. So that is also non-farm activities. Now see the farms gallery. See, in the villages, we see that different types of crops, foods are there. You can see here that the farmers are plowing the fields and with the different techniques, with the harvesting machines are there. Now model harvesters are which used to cultivate the field and convert the output into the product. So these are the things. We see the different types of seeds, HYV and protected sphere. Now we see the old ways of planning. Now you see at the bottom that is a modern ways of logging. Thank you.